streets. So we have different stores. Let's say the name of this store is M. Chris. Let's say the name of this store is Sherlock store. Let's say the name of this store is Tesla store. All selling iPhone 7. All these three stores are selling the same item, iPhone 7. So the customer went out from his house. The customer went out from his house to buy in pursuit of trying to buy an iPhone 7. So the customer had a glance, had a glance into your shop, inside your shop. The customer had a quick glance into your shop. He has not entered your shop yet, but he had a quick glance into your shop. He had a quick look into your shop, and then he saw that there's something he doesn't like about your shop, and then he decided to branch into the other shops. And then he saw what he is looking for in the other shop, and then he went inside the other shop and buy what he wants to buy, and then go back home. And then he went back home. So you can see, if your customer did not come into your shop, it is not your fault, right? It is not your fault. So sometimes your trades might not trigger. Sometimes it is fine. It is fine. It happens. Move on. Don't emotionally damage yourself because of this. Okay. So that is it on this. Now let's move on. Let's move on to the trades that didn't trigger this week. Now, on some of the trades that didn't trigger this week, let's analyze it. USD CHF did not trigger this week, so let us analyze the trade. So the first thing is to mark the monthly EQ, which is on the D1 time frame. Remember, it is a blue line always. Then the next thing is to mark the weekly EQ on the H3 time frame, which is here. So by now, I believe you guys understand the point I'm trying to make when I say we've already determined the equilibrium line towards the ending of last week. So let me mark it out. Make sure you are putting your equilibrium line properly at the opening of the candle. It also has meaning, okay? It has meaning. Make sure you properly put it at the opening of the candle. So because I see some of you not putting it properly at the opening of the candle. Now, after determining the location, the alignment rather, because we can clearly see that this is a sell alignment. So in a sell alignment, remember we are only looking for a sell trade situation. So the next thing to do is to go back again to the high time frame to look for the GTA candle on the D1 time frame from D1 to H12. Remember, we are trying to look for the GTA candle on the weekly equilibrium line, all right, around the weekly equilibrium area. So from the H12 to H8, from H8 to H6, from H6 to H4, from H4 to H3, from H3 to H2, from H2 to H1. All right, so you can see that in this situation, we didn't see the GTA candle in this situation, right? We were not able to see the GTA candle in this situation. However, what we were able to see is this massive candle here that formed towards the ending of the week, right, of last week, which is a rally-based drop candlestick, massive rally-based drop candlestick. So our point of interest is on this candle, is on the candle there, is on the candle there. All right, so let us go back to the candle again. So our first point of interest is to mark out the area we're having here. But before we mark it out, we need to switch lower to determine the area properly. So this is the area, this is the first area where we need to mark the zone. You can see the area I saw, right? You can see as I switch lower, I was able to see the breaking of the candle, because on a higher time frame, the candlestick looks like this on a higher time frame. But as I switch lower, I was able to see a hidden zone inside the candle that's dropped. There's a hidden zone inside it. So as I switch lower, I was able to determine the hidden zone. I was able to see the hidden zone inside that same movement. So you can see that's the hidden zone. So inside this hidden zone, you can see that is the only formation making sense towards the ending of last week. That is the only area that is making sense towards the ending of last week. Remember, this is the period separator. Remember, this is the period separator. And towards the ending of last week, the only formation making sense is this drop in price, right? So when we look at the origin of the drop in price, the origin of the drop in price showed us a hidden zone that is around here. So we mark out that hidden zone, proximal line, distal line, and then price did not come back into the area. You can see, remember this formation here is L number 7 formation because it looks like this, right? So remember I told you guys to always mark your distal line here and your proximal line at the tip here. So we mark our proximal line at the tip here. We mark our distal line at the area here. So, but you can see we marked our zone correctly, but price did not come back into the zone, right? You can see price did not come back into the zone. Price missed our entry by how many pips? By some few pips. So this is our entry here. Mark, this is the, so you can see price missed our entry with about 11 pips, for example. So that is it on this trade. That is the reason why this trade did not work, for example. No, it's not that this trade did not work. Sorry about the my comments. The trade work out, okay? The trade happens to work out, but the only issue about the trade is that it did not trigger our zone. The trade did not trigger our zone, but it has already worked out. It has already worked out in the sense that it has already given out the profit we were supposed to make on the weekly, right? It has already given the profit we were supposed to make. Because if it happens to trigger, if the trade happens to trigger, for example, the trade happens to trigger, remember this was the profit we were supposed to, we were destined to make. If the trade happens to trigger, that is the profit we were supposed to make if the trade happens to trigger. But the trade did not trigger, so market has moved and leave us alone. Market has moved and leave us. So sometimes you might get to a train station, and then the train is going to leave you if you are late. You understand? For example, if you are, sometimes you might want to catch a bus, and the bus is almost getting filled up with passengers, and the bus is only having one empty seat left. So just few minutes, and then the bus happens to get filled up. So you can see, if you are not lucky, the bus is going to leave you behind and then move on to its original destination. So you can see market price leave us behind here, and it went into profit, which is its original destination here. So I see some of you asking me that if it has not triggered yet, should we wait for price to come back into the area again, and then we should expect price to come down? I don't see any reason why I should be doing that after this my explanation. You understand? I don't see any reason why I should be doing that. So that is it on this trade. Now let's move on to GBP AUD, which is the next trade. So on GBP AUD, the first thing to do is to mark the monthly EQ, which is here exactly. I'm not seeing it properly, so let me zoom out to be able to see it. So this is it at the opening of the bearish candle. So it is a blue line. The monthly is a blue line. Let me lock it. The next one is to mark the weekly EQ, which is exactly in this area here. Let me change it to green because it is a weekly EQ. So let me lock it also. Now let me switch lower to determine to look for the GTA candle from D1 to H12. So we are trying to look for the GTA candle around the weekly equilibrium line, Remember, I'm not saying on the equilibrium line, around it. It can be on it, it can be around it. So you can see right now, I've already seen the GTA candle. Can you see the GTA candle here? So that is the GTA candlestick. Remember what the GTA candlestick is. Remember, the GTA candlestick is a candle that looks like this. I've done the example just a few minutes ago. So go back and rewatch the area again. You can watch this video over and over again till you understand it. Now let's move on. After locating the GTA candle, remember I told you guys to always highlight the area of the candle. So this is a buy trade. This is a buy trade alignment. So it means we are trying to take a buy trade formation. But the GTA candle is not giving us a buy trade formation. It is giving us a sell trade formation, which is a rally based drop. So you can see we need to ignore this GTA candle. We need to ignore it because it is not showing us the right formation. So it means that the next formation is below. Since this is not the right area on the GTA candle, it's not giving us the right formation. Then the next formation is below, which is this one, this drop based rally here. You understand? So that is our next point of interest in action. Okay. So what you need to do is to go and mark out the area, proximal line, distal line roughly, then switch lower to determine the zone. As you switch lower, you need to switch lower to determine the zone. So you can see as I switch lower, you can see on this higher time frame, the formation looks like L shape, right? You can see this is L shape formation. This is an L shape formation of something like this. L shape. Remember, in an L shape formation, you need to mark your distal line here and your proximal line exactly here. Remember, so that is exactly what we are supposed to do. If the risk of this zone is not over, if the risk of the zone is not too much, we can mark it like that. But if you calculate the risk and you see that the risk is too much, you can see this is 82 pips. That's too much. That's too much. So what we need to do right now is to divide this zone into smaller pieces. Now, by dividing it, you need to switch lower to see some hidden zones. You can see when I switch lower now, you can see I was able to see this hidden zone that is here. So mark out that hidden zone. You can see we also have another hidden zone is also here. So these are the two hidden zones we are going to mark in the area. So you can see actually this trade also did not trigger. Price did not even come anywhere close to it, but it happens. Remember I told you shit happens. Sometimes your trade is not going to trigger. Sometimes your trade is going to hit stop loss. Sometimes your trade is going to trigger and give you massive profits. That is the business. That is part of the business. Right? You understand? So that is it. Sometimes you might see a customer. Sometimes you might not see a customer. You won't close your shop totally just because you didn't see a customer in 1 day or 2 days or 1 week. You need to continue staying in that shop. One day, your customer is going to come, isn't it? So you can see market was supposed to come back into this area and then rally up, but that did not happen. The trade did not come back. So it is okay, but you can see already market has already given the profits already, right? So if market has already given the profit like this, so you need to delete all the zones you have. You need to delete everything since the trade has already worked out, but the trade just happens to miss you. You understand? The trade just happens to miss you. So let's move on to NZDJPY. On NZDJPY, this is the daily EQ. Trust me, it is not easy to be talking like this. All right, let's move on. Daily EQ is here. The next one is the weekly EQ, which is around here. So remember what I told you guys about equilibrium lines that are very close to each other. If the equilibrium lines are close to each other, then we are no longer using the equilibrium line for alignment. What we are looking for is either a uptrend or downtrend situation. So in this situation, you can see how close these two equilibrium lines are to each other. So it means that we are not going to be using the alignment on those two equilibrium lines. What we are going to be looking for is an uptrend situation or a downtrend situation. So towards the ending of last week, this is the area towards the ending of last week. So towards the ending of last week, there was, let me go back to a higher time frame again. So on the higher time frame, I'm trying to look for the GTA candle on the weekly equilibrium line. So from the D1 to H12, from H12 to H8, from H8 to H6, from H6 to H4, from H4 to H3. So I believe you guys can see that on the H3 time frame, this is our GTA candle on the H3 time frame. I believe you can see the GTA candle on the H3 time frame right now. So what you need to do is to highlight the area. Okay, you need to highlight the area. After highlighting the area, switch lower again. So when you switch lower again, then you are trying to mark the proximal line, distal line properly on that formation. Okay, you are trying to mark the proximal line distally and distal line properly on the formation. And also, this formation does not make sense because it is not giving us 1:3. Right? It is not giving us 1:3. It is not giving us 1:3. So you can see the lower zone did not work, but you can see that the upper zone here is the one that is making sense. So if the hidden zone is not making sense, then I remember what I told you guys, that you need to go for the next best thing. Next best thing. You understand? You need to go for the next best thing. You understand? And the next best thing here is the zone that we are having here. Is the zone that we're having here. You understand? So let me mark it out. The next best thing. Let's mark it out, because you can see that the hidden zone around here is just pure consolidation. Nothing making sense around here. Market was just consolidating around the area. But remember, previously on our hidden zone, we usually see something like this. We usually see a market rallying up, giving us a massive rally based drop formation, and so on and so forth. But in this situation, market was just showing us a consolidation around the area. So we are not going to take it. We are going to go for the next best thing. So let me just mark our next best thing, which is here. So on our next best thing, remember, it is a 7 formation, as you can see. Our next best thing, as you can see, this is a 7 formation of something like this and something like this. So remember, the distal line should be here, proximal line should be here. So let me mark it again. And after marking it, you guys should be able to see that the area did not trigger. As you can see, that trade did not trigger also. That is why I put this NZDJPY on the category of trades that did not trigger. You understand? On category of trades that did not trigger. You hit stop loss. Remember what I told you guys, that sometimes you hit stop loss and sometimes the first zone did not work, the other zone did not work also. So you can see loss was made on this trade and no recovery on the loss, because price did not hit your other zone that you have above. You can see market price did not come and trigger our next zone to recover the loss. But on the other trades that you happen to take, the other trades are going to be recovering your loss. You understand? So you can see this is just a 6 pips difference for price to trigger our zone. You understand? So profit was not made on this trade and it was not recovered. However, profit should be able to be recovered on the other trades you happen to take. You understand? So that is it. Now let's go to AUD CHF. Now on AUD CHF, this is what we have. The monthly EQ is here. And then the weekly EQ is here. So you can see on AUD CHF also, it is the same thing. The equilibrium lines are close to each other, which I don't like. I like seeing gap in the equilibrium line. So it means that we are trying to look for the trend right now. So from D1 to H12, so we are looking for the GTA candle right now on the equilibrium line. So we can see this is the GTA candle right now on the equilibrium line. Can you see this is the GTA candle? Now, after seeing the GTA candle, remember what I told you guys to do. Highlight the GTA candle. After highlighting the GTA candle, start switching lower, 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 and lower, and lower again. You can see after switching lower, 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 this is what we have. What we have here is this rally based draw formation that we have here. So you can see there's a rally based drop here. There's a rally based drop here. So you can see that this rally based drop towards the ending of the week, market has already triggered here, but I don't like trading trades that the formation is like this. I don't like taking trades that the formation is like this. No, this is what I mean. I don't like taking trades that the formation is like this. I don't know how to explain this to you anyways. So, but you guys can see that this drop in price is not up to 1:3, but let me see if it is up to 1:3. So if it is going to be up to 1:3, remember this area has not happened yet as at the time of the analysis. If it is going to be up to 1:3, it means that I'm going to determine that this area has not happened yet, which means my calculation of 1:3 should be from this point here to this point. Okay, so let me see if this trade happens to give 1:3. So it means this is 1, this is 2. Yeah, the trade gave 1:3. It gave 1:3. Yeah, it gave 1:3. As you can see, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So it gave 1:3. This trade gave 1:3. However, I don't know why I don't like it. Anyways, I don't know why, but I believe you guys can see why. Anyways, that is it on this trade. Okay, that is it on this trade. So personally, for me, I happen to take this upper area here because there's a hidden zone on the upper side. There's a hidden zone on the upper part. So you can see the hidden zone I took did not trigger. You can see the hidden zone I took on the upper side did not trigger. Because remember, this is the area where we have the GTA candle. Remember, this is the GTA candle area. So on the GTA candle area, I didn't like the area, so I went up a little bit to the next best thing. And the next best thing is this one, right? Is that one. So I took the next best thing, and the next best thing did not trigger for me. You can see the next best thing did not trigger. So I missed the next best. My next best thing trade missed with how many pips? How many pips? Let's see. From this area to this area is 2 pips, about 2 pips. So that's because I don't usually add 2 pips to my trade sometimes. Sometimes I usually add it, sometimes I don't add it. So it is your choice if you guys want to be adding 2 pips to your entry or not. So sometimes on your proximal line, you might add two pips to your entry, and you add 3 pips above your entry, which is your stop loss. You add 3 pips on your stop loss, 3 pips on your stop loss. Okay, so it means 3 pips on our stop loss is going to be like this, and then 2 pips below our entry is going to be like this, which means this is the zone we are going to be using overall as our risk. As our risk overall, this is going to be our overall risk. You understand? But we know that the original zone is here to here. Now, why are we adding 2 pips to our zone? We are adding 2 pips to our zone because to have a good shot at our trade triggering, so that our trade can trigger. You understand? So that our trade can trigger. So if you happen to add 2 pips to your zone and still the trade did not trigger at your 2 pips, it means you are not destined to take that trade, to make profit on that trade. So sometimes also the reason why we are adding 3 pips to our trade is because if you add 3 pips to your trade, sometimes remember markets usually go up all the way here into the proxy, into the distal line, and then go down exactly from the proxy, from the distal line, and go down. So what if your stop loss is exactly on the distal line? You see that you are going to hit stop loss on the distal line. So but what if you add 3 pips to it? So you can see if you add 3 pips to your distal line, when market is dropping down, market is going to miss your stop loss. So sometimes I usually put 2 pips and 3 pips, and sometimes I don't usually put it. I don't know why. That is just my personal thing. You can also do this decision on your own personally. It is up to you. All right, the next one is XAUCHF. Let's check on XAUCHF. On XAUCHF, the monthly EQ is here, which is a blue line, of course. Then the weekly equilibrium line is here, which is a green line. So then the next thing to do is go back to the higher time frame after you know the alignments. This is a sell alignment. So remember, I don't like seeing this type of alignments that are very close to each other. So going back to the D1 time frame, we are trying to look for the GTA candle on the weekly equilibrium line. So from D1 to H12, from H12 to H8, from H8 to H6, from H6. You can see now right now on the H6 time frame, we can clearly see the GTA candle on the H6 time frame. I believe you guys can see that that is the GTA candle. Let me zoom it out a little bit. So you can see towards the ending of last week, which is around this period separator here, this is the new week and this is the previous week. So towards the ending of last week, this is the last formation that formed towards the ending of last week, and that is the GTA candle. So after having the GTA candle, remember guys, I told you to always highlight the area with your yellow, with your proximal and distal line roughly, then start switching lower after highlighting it. Start switching lower. You can see as I switch lower, you can see that is still, this is still the last formation that formed towards the ending of last week, isn't it? Or do you have any formation that makes sense towards the ending of last week around here? No, this is the only formation that makes sense towards the ending of the market day last week, right? This rally base drop. So on that rally base drop, switch lower to mark your proximal line and distal line in a more proper way. In a more proper way. Okay. I believe you understand what I mean by in a more proper way. It is up to you to understand that. So you can see the zone was here. But you guys can clearly see that this zone here did not trigger also. This trade here did not trigger because market did not even come to it. Market did not even come close to it, but market was dropping down. You can see market drop down. So sometimes this usually happen in the market. It is okay. You understand? It is okay. It is okay. So that is it on this trade, guys. That is it on this trade. Now let's move on to the other trade, which is the last example, CHF JPY. Now on CHF JPY, this is our monthly equilibrium line. So after today's Zoom video recorded video, I'm not going to be sending any more video about how the monthly EQ works or how the weekly EQ works, because I believe as a mentor I've tried all my best to do many examples for you guys, do many Zoom videos for you guys, do many Zoom sessions with you guys to help you understand how this thing works. So it is your problem if you don't understand it at the end of the day, because I think I've tried my best. It is not easy to be doing this every day. If you don't understand it, go back and rewatch the video over and over again till you understand it. Okay, so this is a sell alignment on the CHF JPY trade, because I see some people even after recording the videos for you, you won't watch the video. Even after I did a recorded video for you, you won't watch the video, and you come in to ask me questions on why you still don't understand the professional course, why you still don't get results on the professional course. So is it my fault? I did a video for you, I recorded a video, sent the video to the groups and so on and so forth, did multiple Zooms sessions with you guys, and then you didn't dedicate your own time, your own personal time to practice what I teach you. Is it even possible when you go to school? Is it your lecturer that is doing everything for you? No, it's not possible. You have to be able to put in your own personal effort in trying to understand what you've been taught. So some people don't usually put in effort in trying to understand what they've learned. Some people, after watching videos, they don't ask questions. They don't ask you questions, because some people are waiting for the perfect time to ask you questions. I don't see any reason why you should be waiting for perfect. There's no perfect time. There's no perfect time. If you are waiting for perfect time to ask me questions on what you have, on where you don't understand, then I don't see any reason why. I don't see what you are doing here. I don't know what you are doing here in the first place. What you are doing here is that you paid me to be able to teach you, to be able to show you something that you don't know. Humble yourself to learn from me because you paid, right? If I didn't have the knowledge, you won't pay to join. So now after paying, your duty is to ask me questions to be able to get answer, whether what you understand after practicing for some time, whether what you understand is making sense to you or not. Ask the question. If the question doesn't make sense, ask the question anyway. Ask it. If the question doesn't make sense, I'm going to direct you on why so and so is doing so and so. So if the question doesn't make sense, 1 + 1 = 2, and you are trying to make it as 1 + 1 = 3, then I'm going to correct you, even though you are not right. I'm going to correct you that, hey, you are doing this thing wrong. This is how to do it. This is 1 + 1 = 2. So some people don't usually ask questions, even if they don't understand some things. They are waiting to practice to be able to understand it, or I don't know. Because the little you understand, always ask questions on the little ones you understand. You understand? Always ask questions on the little things you understand. So the little things you understand, you are going to be getting answers from the little ones you understand. And gradually, you are going to be developing into understanding how everything works as you get more answers little by little, day by day. So I think that is the best option, by asking your questions little by little, day by day, in, day out, day by day, little by little, like that. Don't wait. Don't wait to get everything perfectly before you start asking your question. Don't wait till you get everything perfectly before you start sending in your before and after results. Sending in your result is one of the ways to cement what you know. Even if after sending your even if after sending in your before and after results, and the before and after result is not making sense, send the result anyway. Send the result anyway, because after sending the results, I'm going to help you understand what you are doing wrong very, very quick, without wasting any more time. You understand? So, and so on and so forth. I don't know what you guys are doing, some of you. You understand? I don't know. So, and I can't help you. You understand? If you are not helping yourself, you are not trying to make you help you. Right now, I'm trying to help you. So you need to also make me, you guys need to also give me a bit of space to be able to help you. You guys need to be able to give me the chance to be able to help you. So if you guys are not giving me the chance to be able to help you, then how am I going to be able to help you if you are not trying to open yourself up for help? If you are not opening yourself up for help, then it means you are not ready yet. You understand? So I think that is it, guys. So let's go back again. So right now we are trying to look for the GTA candlestick on the weekly equilibrium line. So from D1 to H12, from H12 to H8, from H8 to H6, from H6 to H4. So you can see on H4 right now, we've already seen the GTA candle, which is here. That's the GTA candle. So whenever you're asking your question, you can also ask me your question that's about GTA candle and so on. What I mean by asking me a question about GTA candle is just the way we usually talk about weekly EQ, monthly EQ, how we usually talk about how to mark proximal line and distal line. You guys can also start talking about the GTA candle. Okay, that is the name we should be giving it, GTA candle. So now on the H4, we've already seen the GTA candle, but let me highlight the GTA candle now. You can see this is a sell alignment. So sell trade formation is what we have on the GTA candle, which is a rally-based drop, as you can see. So on the rally-based drop, I've highlighted the GTA candle roughly. Right now, I'm going to be switching to a lower time frame to mark out the proximal line and distal line properly on the area. You can see this is the GTA candle here on the H2 time frame. So I'm going to be switching to a lower time frame to mark out the proximal line and distal line in a more proper way on the lower time frame. All right, so that is it. 15 minutes time frame. So let's go to 12 minutes time frame, and then let's go to 10 minutes time frame to see. Yeah, so you can see on the 10 minutes time frame, this is what we have, right? So highlighting the area with your yellow box is key. So also, do you notice that there is another zone just above it? Do you notice that there's another zone above it? Do you notice that, I've shown you this type of example on the previous pairs, that we have previously. Remember on NZD JPY pair, this type of area did not trigger on JPY, on NZD JPY. This type of area did not trigger. So you can see also in this CHF JPY, the upper trade, GTA candle did not work. The upper one also did not trigger. So you can see the trade made a loss and did not, there was no recovery on the loss. There was no recovery on the loss. So it is fine. It is fine. Remember, I told you it is fine. So I think that is it on this Zoom video. So if you guys have any question, feel free to ask me your questions in the group. So you can see the zones we have. You can see market price did not trigger the zone. How many pips did we miss on this zone? Market price missed about you can see this is 3 pips miss. Market price missed this zone with 3 pips. So you can see that even after adding your 2 pips to the area, even after you add 2 pips to your proximal line, even if you add 2 pips, you can see your 2 pips is just here. Let me zoom it out a little bit. So I want you guys to focus on this area. So when you focus on that area, you should be able to see that the 2 pips still did not trigger. Let's calculate it. You should see that on the proximal line, from the proximal line here, when we calculate 2 pips, so you can see this is 2 pips. So this is 22 points, this is 22 points. So in pips, this is 2 pips. So you can see it still did not trigger. Remain a little bit for it to trigger, but it did not trigger. So you can see that is it on the trade. So, and that is fine, like I've said, that is fine. So I think that is it, guys, on this trade. So by now, I believe you guys understand how to analyze the monthly trade, just like I told you on the monthly, and I believe you guys know how to analyze the weekly trades now. So it is as simple as that. So we usually do analysis every ending of the week, towards the ending of the week, and we usually do the monthly analysis towards the ending of the month. All right. So we usually do the daily analysis towards the ending of the trading day. But remember, I told you guys to only focus on the monthly equilibrium line and the weekly equilibrium line for now. So as time goes on, when you are very perfect with these monthly and weekly trades, then on your own, you can go back on your own to start taking the start taking the yearly trades, You understand? So, and so on and so forth. All right. So that is it, guys. Have a nice day. If you have any question, feel free to ask me your questions in the group. That is what the group is meant for. I don't see any reason why you guys should be asking me some forex questions that is not a personal life questions to you. It has nothing to do with your personal life. I don't see any reason why you should be asking me the question in a private DM. If it has nothing to do with your personal life, then ask me the question on the group. Whether you want to expose GTA, whether you want to expose anything, ask it on the group. You understand? I don't see we are not hiding anything here. I'm not hiding anything here. So ask your question on the group. Okay? I didn't kill anybody. You understand? So ask your question in the group. I don't see any reason why we should be keeping secrecy in private DM about forex, about how a zone works, how a zone doesn't work. Ask your question in the group so that the question you ask on the group, I'm going to answer your question, and also somebody is going to learn from the answer I give on the question you ask. But if you ask me your question on the group and somebody is going to ask me the same question on privately again on what I've already answered before. So I'm going to keep, it is like a circle. I'm going to keep repeating the same question to everyone privately every day. But if it happens to be that you ask your question in the group, I'm going to answer your question in the group. The person who is in the group is also going to learn from the question you asked and the answer I give in the group. So everybody is benefiting. Less stress for me. You get your answer, and another person also learns. Another person also learns. So that is it. It is not easy to be doing all these things. You understand? So that is it. Because you don't want to have a business whereby, personally, do you want to have a business whereby your customers are stressing you? No, it is not. You don't like that. You understand? So stop stressing your mentor. You understand? Stop stressing your mentor. All right, guys, that is the end of this session. If you have any question, feel free to ask your question in the group. And if you have any personal question that is related to Forex, but it is a personal question, like maybe how to open a broker account, how to do some things personally in your Forex trading, not based on the question and answer on the strategy I'm teaching you, then you can ask me privately. But if it is based on the strategy, but if the question is based on question and answer on the strategy I'm teaching you here on the pro course, then ask your questions in the group. Post your pictures to the group. Okay, I think that is very clear. All right, guys, so have a nice day. Good night. Make sure you watch all the videos from module 1 to module 13. Okay, so I'm going to be sending the rest of the videos as time goes on this week. It is not easy to record all these things. I've been doing this now for about 1 month, 2 months plus now. It is not easy to create a course, you understand? So that is it, guys. Have a nice day. This is Mr. Abraham, the trader of Gova Trading Academy.